Beefy Bites.
Hello everyone, Mr. Beefy here with some pack openings today, and from my local ball card shop, they had a couple of these and I decided to pick one up. Instead of baseball cards or football cards, I'm going to be opening some comic cards, and this is Deathmate from Upper Deck. What Deathmate was a crossover between Valiant and Image. It was 6 issues long, I believe, and I think there were a few preview comics, but there's probably better places to hear the story about it. But basically, it was a disaster of a comic series. But let's go ahead and get it open. So yeah, so it was a disaster, and the reason why it was a disaster is because the responsibility of getting the comics produced were split between the companies. So like the first two, I think, were like, and they weren't numbered either, they were colors. So like there was a prologue, and then there was a let me get my display up here. There was a prologue, and then there was like a red and a yellow, and then later a black and a red. Well, if I remember correctly, the black and the red were Image's responsibilities. And the problem with that is these were produced, the first two were produced, and let's see what the box says here. I bet you it says 93. Let me look here. Yep, 1993. So the Valiant comics for Deathmate came out in 93, and the Image ones were late and didn't come out until I think 94. So it was you had this big crossover event between these two companies. You got the first little bit of it in 93, and then had to wait a year because Image didn't have their stuff together. While we are back here, let's look. So there are some special inserts. Cool. Don't really expect much, but we'll see what we get. But yeah. But yeah, Image doing its good 90s thing of not coming through and delaying it, which made it that much worse. And honestly, I don't even remember. This would have been back when I was collecting comics. I don't even really remember any buzz about this at all anyways. So it was probably a mixture of an interesting idea that didn't follow through, and then terrible delays. So we'll see. So I did not collect any Valiant back in the day, so it'll be kind of interesting going through the art on some of this. It's one of those things I kind of want to go back and read some of it, but the other part of me is like, no, I don't really want to. There's Grifter. I recognized Grifter. Checklist. But yeah, delays are terrible for comics. Did I really get 2 of the same card? That's solar. Emptiness. Is there anything different between those? Does not look like it. Well, that's not a good start. Now granted, I think there are only 90 cards in this set, so we will see. That's pack number 1. But yeah, I think even they had kind of a neat idea for even the cards. So obviously I'm opening Deathmate cards. So they had this thing planned where there was going to be, I don't know if you'd call it a crossover between the card companies, but Upper Deck did Deathmate for Valiant. So most of, I think, the stuff we're going to be seeing here is going to be Valiant art. But then Topps was supposedly going to do the cards for Image, and I don't think those ever happened. And it's, well, because they just couldn't get their comic out. So why make these cards? And I like that one. Deathmate Yellow. So this is probably the cover of Deathmate Yellow. So yeah, Topps was like, no, from my understanding, which can't blame them. So there's only these Upper Deck ones. I'm trying to think if there were any big events. I mean, there's only really one thing that came out of this that I even, you know, barely even care about. And that was, if I remember correctly, that would have been Deathmate Black. If I remember correctly, Deathmate Black was the first appearance of Gen 13. Period. But I don't think it's worth anything. And that's one of those comics, if I'd go back and reread the Volume 1 of Gen 13 stuff, I'd probably find it like, eeh. What is going on there? The end of the beginning. But yeah. Once again, man, that would have been frustrating in the day. Buying a pack of cards and getting doubles in the same pack. But I got these cheap. Go support your local comic and ball card shops. But yeah, I believe it was Deathmate Black was the first appearance of Gen 13 in Comics Anywhere. So I guess you could call it a key comic, so to speak. And I do have it, but it shouldn't cost you much of anything. I got mine for like $1 in a dollar bin from my comic shop. So, yep, seen lots of doubles. Ooh, special card coming up. The Atlas. Front view 1. I wonder if these are a puzzle piece or something, like the blue and smoke part. But here looks like our first, if I can turn it the right way. Cool looking little card. Transitions. It's neat. It's at least a good looking little card. Transitions, what were those? One in 12. It's not too super special, but at least it wasn't a double, right? Another checklist. Is there anything different? This is happening a lot. Is there anything different between these? Not that I see. Hey, cover of yellow again. See what single pack doubles I get this time. Probably ought to turn the right side up. So there's another Atlas card, yep. Yep. Okay, so I was wrong. I said around a 90 card set. It's a 110 card set is what the pack says. That's violent. Oh, man. That would, this, I'm starting to wonder if the only disaster were the comics of this. But yeah, I think I highly doubt this card series did very well. Oh, looks like it's got another Atlas card. Now, while I didn't collect Valiant, I have dug through some dollar bins before and gotten some. Me and my friend got some of Solar there, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head what it was called. But I don't think it was even a Solar comic, but it was a Valiant comic featuring him. Oh, what was it? There's those doubles again. And they're right next to each other, too. That's what's kind of funny about those doubles. Is they were right next to each other in the pack. Yep. I guess that's not smoke. That's going to be land. Oh man, what was it called? Valiant Vision. That's what it was. Valiant Vision. It was a comic that came with some 3D glasses that would work on the Solar comics, and I think it'd work on other Valiant ones too. But basically, the way the art was done, if it was done with Valiant Vision, you'd wear these, and 3D effects would pop off the comic, which was kind of neat. I mean, gimmicky, obviously. But it was fun, because I remember me and him not only would start looking at the Valiant comics, there's another back-to-back double. Would not only look at the Valiant comics, but would also see if it would work on other comics. But yeah, there were certain comics that were labeled for Valiant Vision. Too bad I don't have them handy. I could see if it would work on the cards. Alright, another Atlas. But yeah, I think the Solar was the one that did a majority of the Valiant Vision. Cards are sticking together a smidge. I'll have to take a picture, if I get all of them, picture of the atlas at the end. Good old 90s. Good old 90s. Oh, see, I like that one. So would this be the prologue? Nope, blue. Don't necessarily care about any of the characters, but I like the cover on that. But yeah, so I would imagine back in the day with... Here's our back-to-back doubles. Another one of that. I would imagine with the delay that initially, back in the day, the black and red versions of Deathmate were probably worth more, because they were probably rare to get. Because I'm sure, and I've worked in a comic shop before, not owned it, just worked in one, that with the delays, the owners were probably like, well, we ordered a ton of this crossover because it was the 90s, and delay, people lose interest, don't order as many. So back in the day, they probably were worth a little bit more, the red and black ones. Not anymore. I mean, nothing significantly. All right. Doubles. But totally see that being a 90s issue. You should be able to find all these in dollar bins. Kind of like that. That's a user error there. Well, some explosion. Seen a lot of these now. Like this would be an interesting one to wear the Valiant Vision on because it's got all different colors. Another Atlas. I probably got my one special card already. That's a little violent. Another checklist. First Blood. Another Atlas. And yeah. It's kind of hard going back and reading some of these comics. I've tried. Here and there. Some people really like the new Valiant stuff. Tried a little bit of it, which I guess the stuff I tried wouldn't even be new at this point in time. Couldn't get into it. It wasn't terrible. But I also didn't read the original stuff either. So I don't know if that would have made it a little bit more enjoyable. I think that's Prophet. The solar there. Here's our back-to-back double. Skip to the Atlas one. Another one of those. But yeah, if anyone remembers collecting these or remembers any of the Valiant comics that they were collecting at that time, you gotta leave a comment. Or if you have any recommendations on what series of Valiant to go back and read. Or maybe if there was like a 3-issue storyline about a character. Leave me a comment. Tell me to check it out. Because that's part of the problem, is just knowing what to get. Because sometimes it isn't good to start at the beginning of a comic series. You can get burnt out on it before, back to back, before the good stuff comes out. That's the thing, too, that I finally got myself trained on over the years. It's okay to not have a full run of something. If there's only a good storyline for 3 to 4 issues and it's in the middle of the series, there is nothing wrong with just getting the good part. Now that has a packaging error. But yeah, there is nothing wrong with just getting part of a series if that has a good storyline. Well, we are halfway. We're halfway. So I might just stop it there and take a break for myself and then come back and finish this up later. So yeah. Only one special card so far. Oh, and I almost flipped right to it in my pile here. Yeah, Transitions card. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop it right there for now. I'll probably come back later and finish this pack opening. Take it easy until then.
Subscribe.